Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ed from me, and today what we're going to be doing is installing a catless downpipe and going stage 2. So I'm doing this catless downpipe install in my driveway. Probably not the most ideal of places to actually do it, and it's also probably not going to be really easy either. Getting this car onto the jack stands and being able to actually access the downpipe that's currently in it. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of put my car into the position, and I'm gonna jack up the front end. There are 2 videos on YouTube that I found very helpful, and I gotta give credit where credit is due. The first video is from Deutsche Auto Parts. They did a video on the install of catless downpipe, or not catless downpipe, but just one of the downpipes. I think it was Revo, and they did a good job kind of showing all the parts that you need in order to do that. That was helpful. The second video that was really helpful was from Rad Fox, and Rad Fox, I thought the video was super helpful because it was almost about an hour long, and he talked about how to get the car onto jack stands. He showed exactly how high he needed the car to be in order to access the downpipe to actually be able to remove it. So I thought that video was really helpful. He hasn't been on YouTube in a while, I think about 5 months now. So I am wondering what happened to him. Hopefully everything's okay. Anyway, so basically what I got was the Circuit Works catless downpipe through the Black Friday sale. I also got myself a spacer. Hopefully that'll be able to keep away any check engine lights. I'll definitely keep you guys updated if we do get any of those check engine lights. At the same time, I would like to thank Mitch over at Street and Track Solutions. He's the one who was able to hook me up with a good deal on the catless downpipe. So thank you for being able to do that for me. I appreciate when enthusiasts are actually owners of companies, and certainly talking to Mitch personally, I was able to learn about his character, and certainly appreciate how he runs his business. So for those of you guys who are looking into a catless downpipe, I think this was probably the best deal out there. Even without Black Friday sales, it's a heck of a deal, and the company's name is Circuit Works. They exclusively sell their Mark 7 Gulf R downpipes through Street and Track Solutions. So feel free, guys, to contact Mitch. He'll be able to hook you up with a good deal on the catless downpipe. They also have Mark 7 GTI downpipes. Those come in either catless or catted. I personally went with catless because Circuit Works doesn't come out with a catted one for the Gulf 7R. And as you guys know, I'm paying my way through med school right now. It's really expensive. So for those of you guys who are wondering why I didn't go with a big brand name downpipe, that's basically why. Hopefully you guys can get something out of this video as well. Perhaps you guys will learn that you don't always have to get the big brand names out there for your parts. And you can certainly get away with some better valued downpipes out there, because essentially what a downpipe is just it's kind of like the resonator delete. I paid for an OEM product, and I probably could have gotten away with just getting an exhaust shop to do it for a lot less, and probably would have done most of what the OEM resonator delete did. So I feel the same way about this downpipe. We'll see how well the fitment is and everything after we're done, and then we go out for a drive and everything. I'll give you guys like my updated impressions on whether or not I feel like the catless downpipe from Circuit Works is worth its value. So why don't we get started? I won't be able to record every single detail of what's going on, but those 2 videos that I mentioned from Deutsche Auto Parts and Rad Fox, they really go into detail as to what you need to do in order to actually get this done in your driveway. Deutsche Auto Parts on a lift. However, I will show you anything that I find that's different, or that's causing me a lot of trouble. I'll try and get it on camera. I'm trying to get this done in a day. It's my first downpipe job, so it's not like I really know what I'm doing. I have a really good understanding of what's needed and tools needed and what it's going to take to do it. However, I haven't really thought through everything, so I'll walk you guys along with me as I install this downpipe. All right, so 6mm Allen, and I'm taking off the O2 sensor. I think that's everything that we need to do here at the top. Everything else is done under the car, so I guess it's time to jack up the car. All right, so I jacked it up as high as my jack stands will allow me to. I don't think I got the full, I think he was at 21 3/4. I'm down to basically 17 3/4, or about 18 inches off the ground. In his video, in Rad Fox's video at least, with the jack stands, I'm a little worried about whether or not I'll be able to actually get the downpipe out. Let's see what I'm at on the other side. Yeah, 17.5 or so. Okay, so I'm gonna try my best. If you guys watch to the end of this video and I'm able to get the downpipe out, that means that 17.5 inches is enough to actually get it out. But we'll see. So time to get under the car. Going under the car now, I have a little bit of a different scenario than Rad Fox did, but his video certainly did help. Basically, what you have to do is turn the drive shaft, which is located right in there. I don't know if you could see it very well, but the issue is you have to keep turning it in order to take those bolts out. If you just turn one tire, the other one turns the opposite way. So what you have to do is hold both sides. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but I have my hands on both these wheels, and if you turn them together, just use some strength, you can actually turn the drive shaft by yourself. So what I'm gonna do is put it right where I need it to be, and I'm gonna go put the car in park so that the drive shaft won't be able to turn. So after taking off these drive shaft bolts, there's the one bolt behind there that you have to take, and then there's two over here, basically to allow you to move this piece off. So this one's not too hard to get to, but the one behind it really is, and I found really the only tool that I could do was this really short 8mm Allen. So this part, this is a good length for it, but this part has to be short. The bolt's not on too tight, so that you could, there's enough torque with this much in order to get it off. Basically, the catalytic converter of the downpipe is in the way, so really the only way you're going to get it off is if you use an Allen key or Allen wrench that's really short. Yeah, I don't really know any other way to explain it, but you can kind of see. Let's see if I can get you a view of the actual bolt. It's hard for, there's a lot of tight space, so if it shows up on camera, I'll point it out in post-production. But Rad Fox has a pretty good view of it as well. He went about it a different way. I think that the best way to do it is to basically use a short Allen wrench. That's the only way Al is able to break it loose. Alright, so I guess the most difficult part of this so far has been getting that 8mm Allen bolt here in the back. After you get that, that's really the hardest part, because you just release these dog bone mounts bolts, and then you slide the engine forward with like a crowbar. You'll be able to slide your jack shaft over to the left so that it's out of the way, and you'll be able to remove your downpipe. Alright, moving on. Now it's the moment of truth. I think I released everything. We're gonna see if we're able to get the downpipe out. Let me see if I can get you a good angle. Hopefully you guys can see what's going on. Let's see if I can remove this downpipe. I'm gonna do the same thing that Rad Fox did, which was disconnect the oxygen sensor so that I don't break it while I'm trying to remove this downpipe. Alright, I have the oxygen sensor. Let's move this off to the side. Remove the downpipe without worrying about the oxygen sensor getting damaged. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be. And it sucks because your arms kind of lose blood because you're using energy and it's above your head. I'm gonna pause this and then I'll get back to you guys as to what I have to do in order to get this out. So I think I almost have it out of here. You really got to make sure the jack shaft is all the way to the left, and you also got to make sure that you bend the heat shield a little bit back, but I think it should come out soon. Yes! Alright! It's finally out! Alright. Alright. Gotta keep moving. Alright, now that the downpipe is out, time to put the new one in. Let's get the oxygen sensor. I got a spacer here. Hopefully it'll get rid of any check engine lights. Not really sure if it will, but worth a try. Alright, so I wanted to point out the first issue with this downpipe. The parts that actually hold the downpipe onto the engine block, you can see that it doesn't fit. Look at that. That is just bad quality control. So probably gonna need to file that down a little bit to make some space, and then we should be good to go. Alright, so I figured out a way to be able to mount the CircuitWorks downpipe on, even though the block, the part where it attaches to the block, is a little bit off. You can take off another 13mm nut right there. I'll point it out in post-production. And you can basically wobble this a little bit so that it'll fit. So hopefully now I can get it to fit. We'll take a look. Alright, so the top section has been completely installed, I think. I even put the oxygen sensor back on. Back here, now it's time to put the rest of the downpipe on. Let's see if I can get you a good angle. Alright. Oh, alright. You know, in the beginning of this video I had eye protection on, and I think it's probably a good idea to get it again. Alright, I think we gotta just tighten everything down now. Alright, one more back there. Alright, so I think I got everything done. I kind of went into panic mode because it's starting to get dark, but I think I have everything done. I guess I'll find out real soon. Oxygen sensor is put back on. The V-band clamp from the turbo to the downpipe is back on. I already said oxygen sensor. All those nuts going to the engine block, I believe, are tight. I'll double check them in a second. Down here at the bottom, the heat shields are put back on. The nuts and studs and bolts are all tightened back on, so that should be good. V-band clamps for the downpipe to the resonator delete is all done. I think it's time to lower the car, start it up, and I'll give you guys a sound clip to see how much louder it is compared to when I just had the resonator delete with the stock downpipe. driving around a little bit right now, and right when I started the car I already had a check engine light, and that's probably because I took off the oxygen sensor and tried to turn on the car, and it automatically saw that there was no oxygen sensor plugged in. So I had a check engine light, I had to turn it off, and I haven't actually tuned this car to stage 2 yet because I want to see with the regular stage 1 tune whether or not it will throw a check engine light with the spacer that I have for the O2 sensor. One thing I can definitely say is that the car is definitely a lot louder. It is definitely a bigger difference than the resonator delete, so that's definitely welcome. Now basically what I'll do is I think I'll keep it around a week or so on stage 1 and see if a check engine light throws when my wife is driving it to work and back. And what I'll do is basically wait until I can check the OBD2 readiness monitors. If it says that everything's ready, then I know that I'm good to go when it comes time to get inspection done. So that means that the spacer is doing its job. If the check engine light goes off, I'll have a little bit more research to do and a little bit more mods to try and figure out how I can turn off that check engine light so that when March comes around, when I have my yearly inspection, I won't have to put back on the OEM downpipe in order to pass inspection. So I know you're all looking forward to a review. However, I don't really want to give a full review of this downpipe yet until I go stage 2 and until I can really rev it out and see if there's a really big difference. So for now I'm going to drive it pretty easy just to see if the O2 check engine light comes back on. However, I will give a little bit commentary in terms of the Circuit Works downpipe that I went with. In terms of its fitment, it was not 100%. I did have to do a little bit of modification, and I'll try and talk about that in my office right now. Alright, so basically, all in all, the Circuit Works downpipe I think is, it's okay, it's pretty good value for what you actually get. Now, if you took a look at the earlier clips with the TIG welding, I have seen better TIG welds in my day, and I've seen worse as well. So you kind of look at where the dime beads are, they're supposed to kind of line up and match. There's some parts of the downpipe that I don't think the TIG welds are all too perfect. At the same time, if you look at the O2 sensor, that was not stainless steel. So the fact that it was rusted by the time that it arrived here to my place, I thought that that just wasn't acceptable. So I guess at the end of the day, you do get what you pay for. If you really want like a stainless steel O2 bung, it's not really a big deal to me. You could possibly go with a larger brand name company. Now, the reason why I went with a Catalyst downpipe was simply because in order to be guaranteed no check engine lights, you have to pay for a catted downpipe that is really, really expensive. Definitely out of my budget. Whereas the cheaper ones that are catted, you still have a chance of getting a check engine light. So I figured, you know, if I'm going to get a check engine light anyway, let me try and figure out a way around it through some other means, and that's why I went with a spacer. Hopefully, driving after a week, find out if the O2 check engine light is going to turn on or not. In terms of the part of the downpipe that actually attaches onto the engine block, gladly VW, I don't know if they thought about this in advance with changing downpipes, but there's a little bit of adjustment that allows you to move where the attachment point is. I don't know if Circuit Works depended on that. I know that other manufacturers, it just fits right on as far as I know. So definitely a quality issue there, because if I took a look at where the axle, the wings are on the downpipe, and they're not straight. So definitely whoever welded that wing on didn't take a look at it to make sure that it was perfect, perfectly flat and perfectly the place that it was supposed to be. And as a result of that, it wasn't actually fitting on properly at first, until I figured out that you can actually move that mounting point. Alright, so I guess that's basically it. I'll put you guys back into the video for a couple more clips.